B4D Tools 1.4.4 Quick Guide of Changes. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've completely overhauled the interface, added brand new features, and made major improvements to performance usability. Let's jump right in. A cleaner and smarter interface. First up, the interface has been completely redesigned. It's now more compact and easier to understand, so you can focus on your work, not on navigating menus. By default, all tools show the simple version. But if you need more control, just enable the new menu options. They're marked with a button that switches from disable to enable. This means you can work in simple mode for quick projects, or switch to advanced mode when you need deeper control. And here's a quick look at each tool, so you can see the changes for yourself. I've also hidden the Show Nodes group option in modifiers, making them even more compact in both the modifiers panel and the geometry nodes editor. Plus, each tool now has a distinct color. You'll see that clearly in the Geometry Nodes editor. New parameter limits, but still flexible. To make the interface cleaner, I've set all percentage-based parameters to range from 0 to 100%. But don't worry, you can still go beyond those limits manually, both above and below, so you're not locked in. Field check render parameter now works with instances. This one's a game changer. Now, you can view the field check render without deleting or modifying the effector or field because it uses instance colors. This means you can check in detail how your effector or field is working, in real time, without any extra steps. Super convenient. Better naming an asset browser. I've simplified and reorganized the tool names in the asset browser, matching the same order as in the add-on version. But keep in mind, if you're using the asset browser version, you lose some automations that the add-on provides, like auto-generating empty controllers, creating linked collections, and other handy features. Improved extension version. Smarter workflow. When you add a BCloner, the transform modifier is now collapsed by default, since it's not always used. When you add an effector, the basic fields modifier is collapsed, so you can immediately access the effector and configure it, because in most cases, you don't need to tweak basic fields. When you add a field, it now automatically appears before the effector, so you don't have to move it manually. And when you add a material tool, it's now placed at the end and linked via a ping, ensuring it always works where it should. This makes the whole process faster and more intuitive. Full compatibility with Blender 5.0. I've made sure B4D Tools is fully compatible with Blender 5.0 new modifiers, so you can easily use them and combine them with all B4D Tools features. No conflicts, no issues. As a quick example using the new array and scatter on surface tools. Pro tip, make sure you disable realize instances if it's enabled. Otherwise, things might not work as expected. As you can see, I first configure each modifier, then add an effector, where I also tweak the effector itself and the basic fields. Same goes for the asset browser version. Here's a quick example. As you can see, I first configure each modifier, then add an effector, where I also tweak the effector itself and the basic fields. New presets pack. Asset browser. The full version now includes a new presets pack, configured with motion graphics and text animations. I will start by setting up the layout and configuring the asset browser. Pro tip, make sure you change the import mode to append. This way, each preset will be appended to your project, so you can easily customize it. Then, just drag and drop, and you will have a fully editable preset in your Blender project, ready to use. These presets will save you time and also help you learn how they rebuilt using B4D Tools. New tools and refactors. Let's talk about some brand new features and improvements. New update for BMoText object. Now you can enable the text on curve option, where you can set your own custom spline. You can now move the text using the offset parameter and control its local or global rotation for each letter, since every letter is an instance. You can also adjust the local Y position of each letter. This means you can now animate any text created with BMoText. And remember, you can always edit it by pressing Tab. Plus, you can customize any native Blender text parameter, so you have endless options, all fully procedural. Effector delay spring has been refactored. I'll show you how it works. I quickly create a BCloner grid array with the random effector and configure the basic fields. Then, I add a simple animation using the empty controller. Next, I add the effector delay, set it to spring mode, and make it affect only position. You can adjust the strength freely to get the result you want. Now, I'll tweak the rotation of the random effector, and do the same for the effector delay. Again, you can tune the strength. One important note: when the empty animation is negative, you'll need to enable a specific option in the advanced settings to fix the delay. This is a rare case that geometry nodes can't handle properly, so I added a manual fix. And finally, scale is not available yet. I haven't released a version that works reliably like the other two, so I'll add it in a future update when it's stable. New field, Mix Field Selections. This powerful tool lets you combine multiple selections or fields into one. Here, I have a grid array set up with a random effector already configured. Next, I add a BMoGraph selection and create two separate selections, each based on a different index range. To preview them, I use the custom selection option in the effector. I also rename each selection differently using the name of selection parameter. Now, I add the Mix Field Selections tool. I copy and paste the names of the previous selections and create a new custom name for the mixed selection. This will be the blend of both. This field can mix up to 10 different selections with several mixing modes available: add, subtract, multiply, and divide. It also includes blending options, just like any other field. This tool is incredibly powerful when you need to combine multiple selections or fields, perfect for complex procedural setups. New features in BCloners. The BCloner now includes a radial rings mode, perfect for creating circular arrangements of instances. In the advanced parameters, you can enable it, and you'll get several configuration options. You can control the number of rings, increase the number of points per ring, or even add extra points. There's also a uniform distribution option that ensures the rings are evenly spaced. Great for clean, symmetrical layouts. This new feature lets you apply separate offsets to even and odd rows in the HoneyComb pattern. You can randomize each group independently using offset variation, and even add offset time separately. This is super useful when animating offsets. Now, you can make rows move at different speeds in just a few clicks. With this tool, you can quickly create complex organic animations that would otherwise take a lot of time to set up. This new option is available in the following BCloners: Grid Array, Radial, HoneyComb, and Object. It allows you to remove instances that are too close to each other, helping you create more abstract, procedural arrangements. This is especially useful when you want to avoid clumping and generate more natural-looking distributions. New features in Fields. Fields Contour Mode. It lets you control how each instance behaves in a randomized way. Here, I have a grid of arrows. I add a plane effector to rotate them by 360 degrees. Then, I add a field random. By default, it rotates each instance randomly, with a random rotation value. But what if I want random rotation? But only in specific degrees. That's where contour mode comes in. I activate it, select step, and in steps I define how many divisions I want across the 360 degrees. For example, if I set it to 4, the instances will rotate in 90-degree increments, but still randomly. The same happens if I increase the number. Each instance will rotate in controlled steps. Pro tip, make sure to lower the inner falloff so all instances are affected. Use the multiplier to adjust how strong the effect is. You also have other modes, quantize Fendry similar to step, but more precise. Quadratic Fendry applies a quadratic curve for smoother transitions. Curve Sundry lets you adjust a float curve in geometry nodes to shape the effect exactly how you want, and that is just the beginning. This update includes over 50 fixes and improvements. You can check the full changelog in the PDF available in the stores. Also, all video documentation will be updated in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. Last but not least, if you have suggestions, questions, or issues, please reach out. I am here to help improve B4D Tools for everyone. It's now available in stores. Thank you so much for your support, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a release.